You ever see an AI do something absolutely brilliant, like write an amazing poem, and then in the next minute, it can't even count the number of apples in a bowl? It's weird, right? Well, that's the central mystery of modern AI. And in this explainer, we're going to pull back the curtain and figure out why these incredibly powerful systems can seem both superhuman and honestly a little bit simple-minded at the same time.
So what's really going on here? What's causing this bizarre gap in its abilities? Well, for years, the answer to making AI smarter was pretty simple. Just make it bigger. But that whole strategy, the thing that powered all this incredible progress, is now starting to hit a major wall.
For about the last decade, the entire AI industry lived by this one simple rule: bigger is better. They called these the scaling laws. The basic idea that if you just keep feeding an AI more data and throwing more computing power at it, it would just keep getting smarter and smarter. You can think of it like a student who could ace any test just by reading more and more books. And, for a while, that strategy worked like a charm.
But that era, it's pretty much over. People are now calling it the end of naive scaling. And it was naive because it was based on this assumption that just pumping in more quantity of data would eventually create a true quality of thought. We're now seeing pretty clearly that's just not the case. The returns are seriously diminishing. And here, right here, is where we're seeing those returns just drop off. Progress is stalling out in the exact areas that separate basic knowledge from real wisdom. Things like long-term planning, being factually reliable, and actually being able to execute tasks in the real world. Just making the AI's brain bigger isn't solving these fundamental problems. Okay, so if a bigger brain isn't the solution, then what is going on inside that black box? To get that, we need to look at how an AI actually thinks. And it turns out its process is way less like human reasoning and a lot more like a gigantic brute force search engine. So take a look at a complex math problem like this one. A human expert would probably try to build a logical, step-by-step case to solve it. But what does an AI do when it sees this? And this is where the two approaches just completely split. A human, they're aiming for a clean, elegant, logical path, what researchers actually call perfect reasoning. An AI, on the other hand, it just starts this massive search. It explores countless possibilities, including tons of dead ends and totally wrong turns. And it's using pattern matching on an absolutely epic scale until it just stumbles upon a path that works.
Right, so imagine the perfect logical path to the answer is this clean green line. A human tries to stick to that path. But the AI, it explores this entire messy web, all of it, including all the dead ends. It might get the right answer in the end, yeah, but not because it understands the logic. For the AI, it's all just a numbers game.
And that brings us to the fundamental truth of it all. An AI is not a mind. It's an incredibly powerful pattern matching machine. It doesn't have a stable sense of self. It has no goals of its own, no continuous memory of the world. So in short, it's a brain without a mind. And that single fact explains everything, both its incredible power and its really shocking failures. So if AI isn't going to replace the human mind, then what is it? Well, the new thinking is that it's a tool, an unbelievably powerful co-pilot that's designed for symbiosis, not for substitution. This new way of thinking is called agentic AI. A good way to think about it is like upgrading from a simple calculator to a full-blown personal assistant. You don't just ask it a question anymore. You give it a goal, and it can figure out the steps, use tools like your calendar or your email, and actually execute the task for you. And this quote, it just perfectly captures the new philosophy. The goal is symbiosis, not substitution. It's not about replacing people. It's about creating a partnership where the AI handles the massive scale of computation and pattern matching, while we humans provide the critical judgment, the real-world context, and the actual understanding. And listen, these co-pilots aren't just some science fiction idea. They're already out there working. We're seeing these specialized AI agents designed to handle really specific, high-volume jobs, like summarizing thousands of pages of legal docs or finding weird anomalies in financial data. Each one is a powerful tool built to make a human expert even better, not to replace them. So this whole new reality, it requires a new playbook, right? How do we actually engage with these incredibly powerful tools safely and, effectively? For any company or person looking to get into this tech, the playbook is actually pretty straightforward. First, start with tasks that are high value but low risk. Next, and this is absolutely crucial, always keep a human in the loop. That means a real person has the final say on any important decision. And finally, You got to move beyond just language by connecting the AI to your actual data and tools so it can do things, not just talk about them. So, what does this all mean for you? Well, here are the big takeaways. You have to treat AI with a healthy dose of skepticism. Use it to supercharge your skills, not to replace your thinking. Always have a human expert checking any important decisions. Honestly, the biggest mistake you can make is to just blindly trust what it says, or become so dependent on it that you have no backup plan when it messes up.
And this over-reliance, it actually has a name. It's called automation bias. Studies have shown this is a very real risk. For instance, in one study, clinicians who used an AI assistant actually got 6% worse at spotting tumors because they started to trust the AI's flawed suggestions more than their own expert judgment. It's a really powerful reminder that these tools can actually make our own skills dull if we're not careful.
And this really reframes the whole conversation, doesn't it? AI isn't the new worker that's coming for your job. It's the new tool. And it might just be the most powerful tool humanity has ever created. It's like a lever for our own minds. So the real question isn't about what AI is going to do to us. It's about what we, with our unique ability to reason and understand, are going to choose to build with it.